Hi guys, welcome. I hope you're having a good day. My name is Dr. Nanette K. Hartley. I prefer Nan. You can call me Dr. Nan, Dr. Hartley, Nan, Professor. Really don't care. I'm very casual about that. Um, I would like to give you a little introduction to the online course that you're taking. This is a completely online course. There is nothing in person that you have to do. You can meet with me if you choose to during office hours or by appointment. That is perfectly fine. Just because it's an online course doesn't mean you can never talk to me. So I'm going to show you around your shell a little bit so that we can talk about some of the things that are in there, and hopefully that will help you out. So I'm going to share my screen so that I can do that. And let's see what we've got. So this is your shell for this course right now. If you were to enter as a student, this is exactly what you would see. On the first page, there's a bunch of different things down here under the user links. I have to add one more thing. Sorry, I just need to make a note about that. Um, I apologize. I was looking at the links and I noticed that I missed something, so I need to make sure I add that before I turn you guys loose. There will be another announcement that comes up tomorrow that you'll be able to see that will contain the link to this introductory video, so I know you found it if you're watching this. Now, the other thing you can look at is content. Under content, when you first come in, this is all you will see. Okay. The reason for that is that there are some introductory things that you're going to be asked to do. Some of those are quizzes. So there's some checklists and quizzes that you need to review. Those first quizzes you need to take, and you need to do them by the 14th. The scavenger hunt exercise, which is a review of our course documents. The acknowledgement activity, which says, yes, I read all those documents and I acknowledge that they are there. And then the lockdown browser and respondents monitor test needs to be done by the 14th. Now, the lecture 2 quiz and the lecture, I actually need to, yeah. So the lecture quizzes, I'll talk about since I'm here. Each of these lecture quizzes are meant to go with a specific lecture. Now, I'll get back to that in just a second because I got to walk through the quiz part for the acknowledgement activity because that's what you have to do to be able to see everything else. So if I go into the acknowledgement activity and I do this, dun, 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 I acknowledge that I've read a whole bunch of stuff. There are 12 things I'm asking you to acknowledge. And it doesn't matter how you answer this. Once you've done this, that will give you the ability to see everything else. This is an acknowledgement that you're in the class and you've seen things, and that's what allows you to see all of the rest of the course material. So once you've done that, you can come out and under content, you'll see more stuff. Right now, you only see stuff for exam 1. You'll see all of the course documents that are present. You'll be asked to review most of this stuff. Excuse me. This is the exam 1 materials. Now, when we talk about those quizzes, there's one that goes with each lecture. Lectures 2 through lecture 15. Now, there is no lecture 15. It's just a, hey, how did you feel about the class kind of quiz. But I don't have one for lecture 1. And the reason for that is that they are meant to be taken the day of that lecture. So quiz 2 goes with lecture 2. The date on quiz 2 is for the date that lecture 2 is supposed to happen in your schedule. So you have until midnight on that day to do that quiz. Now, what's covered in that quiz is the following. The topics from lecture 2, which you'll find in this PowerPoint. That's what this is the PowerPoint for that lecture. So this is what I will be speaking to when I'm doing the lecture. If it ever shows up. I apologize. It's been a little slow today. Yeah. So these are the topics that we're covering for lecture 2. So I'm asking, have you reviewed those topics? So if it's in this list, then it's one of the topics for the day. If it's not in this list, it's not. The other thing that's in that quiz will be a review from the previous lecture. So material that we covered in lecture 1 will be covered in quiz 2. All right. Now, I typically talk about the contents of the quiz in the very beginning of this lecture. So when you're actually watching the lectures, you'll probably watch me go through those questions. That's perfectly fine. If that's how you want to handle it, that's perfectly okay. I don't care. The purpose of the quizzes is not really to see what you know and what you don't. I mean, it is and isn't. It's partially to make sure that you're keeping up with the material. And it's partially so that I can see, do you need more help with things? So that's why I want you to be keeping up with the material, because if you're not understanding it, I should be able to give you more feedback, more information, more guidance, whatever, that kind of stuff. So that's what those are for. They will eventually all get scored by me by hand. That may not happen immediately, but that will happen, okay? And the other thing that you'll see in here, eventually there'll be one for exam 2 and exam 3, okay? And all the material that's covered on exam 1 is the exam 1 folder. The other things that you'll see here, labs. Now, there is no physical component to this course, but there is still a lab associated with it. Your lab materials are all found. Why is that going there? Okay, your lab materials are all found in ALEKS. So ALEKS is an online learning system that we use with this course. Now, you're expected to sign up for that. There's a link to it here under the course documents. There's also one on the main page. It's right here. So you can get signed into that. All the materials, there is homework in ALEKS, there are the labs in ALEKS, and the post labs in ALEKS. Okay, so you'll be able to see all of those. Now, understand, if a due date gets changed in ALEKS, it will not reflect here. Even though there are due dates associated with the things that are in here, which you can see for the one that's showing up, there is a due date on this one. That if it changes in ALEKS, that won't come back here. So it's only the date that was appropriate at the time that the link was added. So make sure that you're checking ALEKS for actual due dates. And if there's ever a discrepancy between what was in my syllabus or the schedule and what's in ALEKS, take the one that's in ALEKS unless you're supposed to have more time. If that's true, let me know. I will always go by what's in ALEKS unless it's supposed to be later. Okay, in that case, please tell me and I'll be happy to give it to you. The other thing you'll see is that there's information for the final exam. Final exam is not written by me. It is a departmental final. So all of the materials that will help you prepare for that will be here. Now, right now, there is nothing in the exam 1 review. I'm still doing some work on that one, cleaning up. I've found a couple of mistakes, so I'm trying to fix that. I'm also fixing some issues, some visual issues I saw with the lecture PowerPoints. So I'm trying to clean those up. So exam 2 and exam 3 will be up in the next couple of days. I wouldn't worry about that too much. This class does have a schedule that it's supposed to keep to. All right. But what I'm telling you is that even though this is the schedule that you're supposed to adhere to, you can do this pretty much at any time you want. The quizzes are open to you, the labs are open to you, everything is open to you except the exams. Those are the only things that have defined dates. And you'll see that there's a 2-day window over which you can take any of those exams. If you need me to open it earlier, I can do that. If you need me to open it later, that's going to be a hard conversation for us to have. Okay, because you have a 2-day window, so you should be able to do it within those 2 days. Okay. There will be exam handouts. Those are currently not in here because I'm still making changes to them. You will get copies of those exam handouts. You are expected to print them to use on the test. You need to show them to me at the beginning of the test. There's a check your environment thing that I can see, and you need to show me those exam handouts so I can make sure there's nothing written on them, because you're not supposed to write anything on them before you use it. Okay, so that is something that you'll have. You are allowed to, encouraged to use those exam handouts. Okay, so that will be there as well. Other things I need to talk to you about. So all of your labs and your post labs will be in ALEKS. Your final stuff is there. There are some discussions for this course. There's the introductory discussion, which goes with, hey, I'm in this class, here's my name, you know, that kind of stuff. There'll be discussion 1, which is about what's in the bottles. This is due on February 11th. So you're supposed to read through this introduction, and what you're supposed to tell me is, what do you need to do to solve this problem? What, if you were talking to someone, what would you tell them to go into the lab to do to test this? Okay, if you have any questions about it, please let me know. You should be able to handle this. It's actually not as bad as it looks, I promise. And then you'll be getting some data available to you that was taken in relationship to this scenario. and you're then asked to identify which set of chemicals you have. What you'll see is that there are 4 sets here. You don't know which set you have, and you don't know which bottle is which. So the bottles are labeled only with colored stickers that say 1 through 5. That's it. So you don't know which set it is, and you don't know which bottle is which. You need to identify 1, which set it is, and 2, what's the identity of everything in the bottles. And then I'm asking you to write the balanced chemical equations for any reactions that actually happen. So that's what you're supposed to do there. And I want you to explain to me, how did you know that that's what you had? You're also expected to respond to one other person's post. Okay, so that's another component of what you're looking at there. Now, it is not a group assignment. It is not. But you will be assigned to groups. The system does that. And there will be other people that you can email who have the same data as you so that you can get some conversation going. I can't guarantee that's going to work very well. So if it doesn't and you want to talk to me about it, that's perfectly fine. But it is something that is available to you. Okay. And this tells you how to get to that file, which you will have for the data. Okay. So that's the discussion part of it. I think that's everything. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. I don't think so. So if I think of anything else, I will put up additional discussions or videos about what we need to talk about. Oh, that's the other thing. So under content, what you will see is that with each of these, there is a recorded lecture. Okay, these lectures are a little bit old, so they're in a different set of exam handouts. I talk about the lab practical, which we don't do anymore. They talk about some things that are a little out of date. You are perfectly fine watching those lectures. The content of that material has not changed at all. And the slides are not that different now as to what they were before. I'm just reformatted them a little bit because they weren't showing up right. You can watch the old lectures. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to be attempting to record new lectures this term with one of my in-person courses, and I will get those uploaded the day that that lecture is done. So I give those lectures in the morning. Hopefully they'll be uploaded by early afternoon. So that is, it's up to you which one you watch. And as soon as I get the new one, I will post the link to that. I will replace the one that's here and put the new one in there. So, but again, it doesn't matter to me which one you watch. If you have any questions, comments, problems about what's in the lecture, please make a note of the time and what your question is, and then send that to me. Give me a call, send me an email, set up an appointment. We'll discuss it. It's not a problem. Okay. Now, the only other thing I'm going to tell you is that one of the links I'm going to be putting down here in the useful links is actually for ChatGPT. And that may seem really weird to you. One of the things that I have found in using ChatGPT, because I do use ChatGPT, is I can come in here and I can say, okay, explain to me how an atom becomes an ion in Bill and Ted. So I don't know how many of you know about Bill and Ted, but they were a thing a while ago, and they talk really funny. And they do. I think it's hilarious. But this explains what the difference between an atom and an ion is in those terms. If I say, okay, we're going to look at the group number. Okay, what is a group number? So that's something I'm reading from this. It says the group number of an atom right here. And I don't know what that is. So I say, okay, what's a group number? Apologize for the confusion. Here's what that means. So this can go back and forth with you and can give you some really detailed information about what it is you do and don't understand. If you choose to, if you set up an account, which you have to do, free or not, you have to set up an account. It will learn from you what you liked, how you like to be spoken to, what things you know, what things you don't, and it can be really helpful. I'm not saying that I can't be. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. I do my best to be extremely helpful to anybody who comes to me with questions. But this thing doesn't get tired. It's available 24/7. It can answer, I haven't come across a question about chemistry that it doesn't know the answer to. And that includes all of the questions that I write on my tests, which is kind of scary. But this is another way for you to learn from that. Now, one of the other links that we have is to tutor.com. Tutor.com is something that the state of South Carolina pays for all high school and college students. So you have access to that 24/7. There's always a chemistry tutor available. So there are tutors available to you. Okay. If you can't meet with me, there's drop-in tutoring that you can sign up for in Navigate. We have chemistry instructors on campus who can do drop-ins. There are a number of different people in my hallway, Professor Twinner, Professor Barch, sorry, I can't remember, Professor Carrion, and Professor Avocado Provera. That's right. Sorry. I know their first name, not their last name, so I have to think. But they're all available to do tutoring as well. So they have times that they can talk to you if you'd rather talk to somebody other than me. That's okay too. So drop-in tutoring for some people can be done via WebEx. It doesn't necessarily need to be done in person. I am perfectly willing to meet with you over WebEx as long as I know you want to meet me. Okay, just let me know that, hey, I'd like you to be in the WebEx, and I'll send you the link. That's fine. So those are things that I have to talk to you about. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. If I think of anything else, I will put up another post. All right. Thanks for coming with me on this short little trip about what's in the shell and how things are going to go. I hope this is a really good semester. Oh, there's one more thing. In the first lecture, what you'll see, actually, let me share again. It's helpful if I share. One of the things in the first lecture that's here, now I have to make it load again. Yay, go me. Is introductions. So in the introduction on the discussion page, what I'd like to know, what's your name? What's your major? Why are you here? So I know that you're here. Why you're taking this class is because somebody said you had to. I know that. But if you have a major, how does chemistry fit into that? If you have an area that you're looking at, how does chemistry fit into that? I need to think about how chemistry might be useful to the path that you're trying to take. So that's what I want to understand from you. The next thing you'll see is y equals mx plus b, or apples. Okay, some people are very good with math, some people are not. So if you're comfortable with math, it's useful for me to know that, because then I can speak to you in more math-based terms. If you're not good with math, coming at you with math is not going to help. So it helps me to customize an approach when I'm attempting to talk to you. And the other thing it says is word. Yes, word. So this is one of those wonderful little games that we play. An icebreaker that's often given to people is, you get one word to describe yourself. What's your word? Well, it's important that you know that my word would be stubborn. I say that because it's a warning. I don't try to be stubborn and difficult with my students. I don't. But sometimes when I'm attempting to make a point, I'm so focused on trying to make that point that I don't see that people aren't hearing, that they aren't understanding. So if I get fixated on something, it's okay to say, hey, whoa, I'm not, can we try a different tactic? Can we do something different? It's okay to say that to me. And if you think that I'm wrong about something, don't worry about it. I trust me, I've been told I am wrong so many times. It is not a big deal. I'm willing to look at that. And I'm willing to have that conversation with you, okay? But I can get a little fixated, so I just want you to make sure that you're aware of that, okay? So I would like to know what your word is, what your things are, so that I can get a better idea of who you are, okay? So thank you very much for that. I swear that's the last thing I have. And I will talk to you guys again soon. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. Have a good night. Thanks.